To gaze upon the Swiss countryside is to witness something truly remarkable. It is a landscape that breathes, a living system where every element is connected. Here, emerald valleys unfold beneath the watchful eyes of snow-dusted peaks. Crystal-clear streams, born from ancient glaciers, carve their way through meadows bursting with wildflowers. This is not a wilderness untouched by humanity, but rather a masterpiece of coexistence. For centuries, people have not sought to conquer this land, but to live within its embrace. They have learned its rhythms, respected its power, and in doing so, have become an integral part of its enduring story. It is a testament to a partnership that has shaped both the land and its inhabitants in equal measure. The first light of dawn reveals a world of profound beauty and quiet industry. A gentle mist often clings to the lower slopes, softening the edges of the formidable mountains that stand sentinel all around. The air itself seems to carry a unique quality, clean and crisp, filled with the scent of damp earth, pine forests, and sweet grasses. It is a sensory experience that speaks of purity and vitality. One can almost feel the pulse of the land, a slow and steady beat that has echoed through millennia. This is a place where nature's grandeur is not just a backdrop for human life, but the very stage upon which it is played out, a constant and humbling presence in the daily lives of those who call these valleys home. What one discovers here is a delicate and intricate balance. It is a harmony achieved not by chance, but by generations of careful observation and deep understanding. The patchwork of fields, forests, and pastures is a deliberate design, woven into the natural contours of the terrain. Each component has its purpose. Each plays a role in the health of the whole. The forests that climb the steep hillsides protect the villages below from avalanches, their roots holding the soil firm. The open meadows provide sustenance for the herds, which in turn enrich the soil. It is a complete and self-sustaining cycle, a living tapestry that is constantly being renewed and maintained with immense care and forethought. This intricate relationship between people and their environment is perhaps the most compelling story the Swiss countryside has to tell. It is a narrative of respect, of stewardship, and of a profound connection to place. The landscape we see today is the result of countless small decisions made over centuries, each one guided by a principle of sustainability long before the word became fashionable. It is a living museum, not of things that are past, but of a way of life that continues to thrive. It shows us that it is possible for humanity to be a constructive part of the natural world, to enhance its beauty and ensure its continuation for all the generations yet to come. In the Swiss Alps, the land is not merely property to be owned or exploited. It is viewed as a sacred trust, a shared heritage passed down through the family line. Farmers see themselves not as masters of the earth, but as its temporary custodians. Their duty is to care for it, to nurture its fertility, and to hand it over to their children in a better state than they found it. This philosophy shapes every decision, from the crops they plant to the way they manage their livestock. It is a long-term perspective, one that prioritizes the health of the ecosystem over the pursuit of immediate short-term profit. This profound sense of responsibility is the bedrock upon which the entire agricultural system is built. This idea of stewardship is visible everywhere. Fields are often small and meticulously managed, following the curves of the hills rather than cutting straight lines across them. Stone walls, built by hand centuries ago, still mark ancient boundaries and help to prevent soil erosion on the steep slopes. Farmers practice crop rotation and allow fields to lie fallow, giving the soil time to recover its vital nutrients naturally. This patient approach ensures the land remains productive for centuries, not just for a single season. It is a form of agriculture that works with nature, not against it, respecting the limits of the environment and understanding that its resources are finite and precious. The animals that graze these pastures are treated with a similar level of respect and care. Swiss farmers have a deep and abiding connection with their livestock, particularly their cows. These are not anonymous units in a large-scale industrial operation. Each cow has a name, a personality, and is often considered part of the extended family. They are known for their gentle temperament, a result of generations of close contact with their human caretakers. Their welfare is paramount. In summer, they are led to high alpine pastures to graze on nutrient-rich herbs and grasses, a practice known as transhumance that has been part of alpine life for centuries. This natural diet produces milk of exceptional quality. This commitment to sustainable farming is a conscious choice, a reaffirmation of traditional values in a modern world. It is about maintaining a delicate balance, ensuring that the land can provide for the community without being depleted. Farmers understand that the beauty of their surroundings is as valuable as the food they produce. They are, in effect, gardeners on a grand scale, carefully tending to a landscape that is both a working farm and a national treasure. This deep-rooted belief that they are simply looking after the land for the next generation is the quiet, guiding principle that preserves the breathtaking harmony of the Swiss countryside. The daily rhythm of life in the Swiss countryside is set by the sun and the needs of the land, not by the frantic ticking of a clock. The day begins early, often before the sun has climbed over the mountain peaks. The first sound one might hear is the distant, melodic chiming of cowbells. It is the sound that is quintessentially Swiss, a gentle and constant reminder of the pastoral heart of this nation. It is the sound of farmers moving their herds from the barns to the morning pastures. It is the soundtrack to a life of purpose and steady work, a life lived in close connection with the animals and the earth that sustains them. As the morning mist slowly burns away, the landscape is revealed in all its glory. The fields are a vibrant green, impossibly lush against the dark backdrop of the forested slopes. Farmers can be seen tending their crops or mending fences, their movements unhurried and deliberate. There is a palpable sense of peace, a quiet efficiency that comes from repeating the same essential tasks day after day, season after season. Life here is not about speed or instant results. It is about patience, perseverance, and a deep respect for the natural cycles that govern their world. This slower pace allows for a greater appreciation of the small details, the way the light changes on a mountainside, or the call of a bird in the forest. The work is demanding, yet it is performed with a sense of pride and dedication. Every task, no matter how small, is part of a larger whole. Turning the soil, milking the cows, stacking hay in the barn, each action contributes to the well-being of the farm and the family. It is a life that demands physical strength and resilience, but it also offers immense rewards. The reward is not just in the harvest, but in the knowledge that they are part of a continuing tradition, that they are upholding a way of life that has sustained their ancestors for generations. This connection to the past provides a powerful sense of identity and purpose. As the day draws to a close, a sense of tranquility settles over the valleys. The cows are brought back to the warmth and safety of the barns, their bells a gentle lullaby as evening approaches. The last rays of the sun paint the snow-capped peaks in hues of pink and gold, a spectacular daily phenomenon known as the alpine glow. Lights begin to twinkle in the windows of the chalets dotted across the hillsides. It is a time for families to gather, to share a meal made from the fruits of their labor, and to rest before another day of purposeful work begins. This daily cycle of work and rest, of effort and reward, is the very heartbeat of the Swiss countryside. The human dwellings in the Swiss Alps are as much a part of the landscape as the pine trees and the granite cliffs. The traditional wooden chalets are marvels of vernacular architecture, perfectly adapted to their environment. They are built not to dominate the scenery, but to complement it. Constructed from locally sourced timber, their warm, earthy tones blend seamlessly with the surrounding forests and fields. Their wide, gently sloping roofs are designed to bear the weight of heavy winter snow, which adds an extra layer of insulation against the cold. The deep eaves provide shelter from both summer sun and winter storms, creating a protected space around the house. Every detail of a chalet is born from practicality and a deep understanding of the alpine climate. The large windows are often south-facing to capture as much of the precious winter sunlight as possible, while smaller windows on the north side minimize heat loss. Intricate carvings, known as fretwork, often decorate the balconies and eaves. These are not merely for show, they are expressions of local identity, family history, and a pride in craftsmanship. Each chalet tells a story of the family that built it, and the generations that have lived within its sturdy walls. They are living structures, repositories of memory and tradition, built to last for centuries. Villages are clustered together in the valleys, often nestled on a sunny terrace or near a river, protected from the harshest winds and the danger of avalanches. Their layout is organic, having evolved over many centuries. A church with its distinctive spire often forms the heart of the community, its bell marking the hours and calling the faithful to worship. Around it, a network of narrow lanes winds between the chalets, barns, and workshops. There is a careful balance between private homes and shared public spaces, the village square, the fountain, the community hall. These spaces are vital for fostering the strong sense of community that is so characteristic of alpine life. This arrangement of homes and villages reflects the Swiss values of community and self-reliance. The close proximity of the houses encourages interaction and mutual support, yet each family maintains its own private space. The shared areas are meticulously cared for, with flower boxes overflowing with vibrant geraniums and public fountains providing clean, fresh water. The entire village is a testament to collective pride and responsibility. It is clear that the people here do not just live in the landscape. They are actively involved in creating and maintaining its beauty and social fabric, ensuring their settlements are worthy of the magnificent natural setting they inhabit. If one activity could symbolize the entire ethos of the Swiss countryside, it would be the ancient art of cheesemaking. This is not a fast, industrialized process. It is a slow, methodical ritual, a craft that requires immense patience, skill, and an intimate knowledge of nature's subtle variations. It all begins with the milk, which is of extraordinary quality, thanks to the cows grazing on a diverse diet of alpine herbs and flowers. The unique flavor of the local flora, the terroir, is concentrated in the milk and becomes the defining characteristic of the cheese. Each valley, sometimes even each individual Alp, produces a cheese with its own distinct personality. The process has remained largely unchanged for centuries. In small local dairies, often cooperative ventures owned by the farmers themselves, the master cheesemaker presides over the transformation. The fresh morning milk is gently heated in a large copper cauldron. Rennet, a natural enzyme, is added, causing the milk to coagulate into a soft curd. The cheesemaker then uses a special tool, a cheese hup, to cut the curd into tiny rice-sized grains. This is a crucial step, performed with a practiced hand and an expert eye. The timing and the size of the grain will determine the final texture and character of the cheese. It is a skill passed down from master to apprentice over many generations. The curds are then heated and stirred for a precise amount of time before being gathered in cheesecloth and pressed into large, round molds. This is where patience truly comes into play. The newly formed wheels of cheese are soaked in a salt brine and then moved to a cellar for aging. Here, they will rest for months, sometimes even years. During this long maturation period, they must be regularly washed, brushed, and turned by hand. This careful tending prevents unwanted mold and allows the complex flavors to develop slowly. The cellar itself is a living environment, its specific humidity and temperature contributing to the final taste of the cheese. This slow, deliberate process is the antithesis of modern mass production. It is an expression of local pride, a celebration of quality over quantity. The resulting cheese is more than just a food product. It is a taste of the landscape itself. It embodies the clean air, the rich pastures, the pure water, and the patient craftsmanship of the community. When a family shares a piece of their local gruyere or emmentaler, they are partaking in a tradition that connects them to their land, their history, and their neighbors. Cheese-making is the patient, flavorful soul of the Swiss countryside, a delicious testament to a life lived in harmony with nature. Life in the Swiss countryside moves to an ancient, powerful rhythm, the turning of the 4 seasons. Each season brings with it a dramatic transformation of the landscape and dictates the work, traditions, and mood of the community. There is no escaping this cycle. One must adapt and live in accordance with it. Winter is a time of quiet and contemplation. A thick blanket of snow covers the valleys and mountains, muffling all sound and creating a world of stark monochromatic beauty. The cows are kept warm in their barns, and the farmer's work moves indoors, mending tools, carving wood, and planning for the year ahead. It is a period of rest for the land and a time for human reflection. Spring arrives with a spectacular sense of renewal. As the snow melts, a torrent of water cascades down the mountainsides, feeding the streams and rivers. The first green shoots push through the damp earth, and soon the lower meadows are carpeted with a vibrant display of crocuses and other spring flowers. It is a time of intense activity. The fields must be prepared and planted, and the cows are led out into the pastures for the first time, an event often marked by joyous celebration. The air is filled with a sense of optimism and energy as life returns to the highlands, and the entire landscape seems to awaken from its long winter sleep. Summer is the season of abundance and hard work. The days are long and warm, and the high alpine pastures, or Alps, come alive. In the age-old tradition of transhumance, farmers lead their herds up to these high meadows to graze on the rich carpet of herbs and flowers. This is where the finest milk for cheese-making is produced. Haymaking is the other major task of summer. Entire families work together in the fields, cutting and drying the grass that will feed the animals through the coming winter. The scent of freshly cut hay fills the air, and the meadows are a hive of activity from dawn until dusk. It is a season of glorious growth and communal effort. Autumn brings a final, magnificent burst of color before the arrival of winter. The larch trees on the mountainsides turn a brilliant gold, creating a stunning contrast with the dark green of the pines and the first dustings of snow on the peaks. It is a time of harvest, of gathering the fruits and vegetables from the gardens. It is also the time for the des Alpes, the ceremonial descent of the cows from the high pastures back down to the villages. The animals are adorned with elaborate floral headdresses and their largest, most sonorous bells. The entire community turns out to celebrate their safe return. This seasonal dance shapes every aspect of life, connecting the people to the land in a deep and unbreakable bond. In the remote and often challenging environment of the Swiss Alps, self-reliance is essential, but it is the strength of the community that ensures survival and prosperity. The people who live here understand that they are stronger together. This spirit of mutual support, or Nachbarschaftshilfe, is not a formal obligation, but a deeply ingrained way of life. Neighbors help each other with the harvest. They assist in building a new barn, and they rally around any family facing hardship or illness. This unspoken pact of solidarity is the social glue that binds these rural villages together, creating a powerful and resilient social fabric. This sense of community extends beyond simple acts of help. It is woven into the very structure of village life. Many essential resources, such as the high alpine pastures, forests, and local dairies, are managed communally. Decisions about their use are made collectively, ensuring that these resources are sustained for the benefit of all, not just a few. This cooperative model fosters a sense of shared ownership and responsibility. It reinforces the idea that the well-being of the individual is inextricably linked to the well-being of the group. This collective stewardship is a key reason why the landscape has been so beautifully preserved. Traditions and festivals play a vital role in strengthening these community bonds. Throughout the year, the calendar is marked by events that bring everyone together. From the festive cow parades of the Swiss Alps to local wrestling contests, music festivals, and village markets, these gatherings are a time for celebration, for sharing news, and for reinforcing a shared cultural identity. They are opportunities for generations to mix, for elders to pass on stories and skills to the young, and for the entire community to reaffirm the values that they hold dear. These events are the vibrant, joyful expression of a community that is proud of its heritage and confident in its future. Ultimately, the story of the Swiss countryside is one of perfect harmony. It is a living example of how people, nature, and tradition can work together to create something of enduring value and beauty. Here, the land is not a resource to be consumed, but a partner to be respected. Life is not a race to be won, but a rhythm to be followed. And community is not a matter of convenience, but the very foundation of existence. In a world that often seems to be moving too fast, the Swiss countryside offers a profound and inspiring lesson that the most fulfilling way to live is in balance with the world around us and in fellowship with our neighbors.